Hello late night coders and welcome back to this channel. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. In this video we're gonna still do some Threejs stuff. We're going to basically take it to the next level, and eventually what I want to do is to show you guys how you can create like this kind of hover effect and do some animations with your 3D object, and then also be able to like handle quick events, or in this case like holding mouse down and then do some animations there. So we're gonna start do it step by step basically. First step is to do the mouse events like hover or click event, and how we can do that with Threejs objects. It's gonna be a series of videos and I will explain everything in there. But before we get started, one quick note: if you're new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button below and turn the notifications on so you're the first to know when I publish a new video. As I said, it's gonna be multiple videos for this tutorial, and so yeah, let's get started. So first thing we're gonna do is to go to this GitHub repo. I'll put a link in the description box of this video. This is where we get the starter code for this video. Click on the code and then download the zip folder, and then you can open it in your IDE of choice. I have VS Code here. First thing we're gonna do is npm install to install all the packages. I've already done that, and the next once you do that, you're gonna run npm start, and that is going to start your dev server. So what you see here, all these files and folders, I have explained them in my other videos, so make sure to go check out the channel main page and you will see a lot of videos, and the very first video is how we started, and you can see the code there. Once you start the dev server, you go to localhost 3000, and then this is where we ended up at the end of last video. If you go to the Threejs web page, you can see that we added the logo up here, and we have also these objects here. I'm going to get rid of a few things, this box, this sphere, and then the axis here. Just leave the plane, just this plane here, and then we work on that. So for that, if you go to your app folder, Threejs and index.js, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get rid of also the orbit control. So I'm commenting out the orbit control code there, and then I'm also I have to get rid of this controls update as well. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get rid of that axis helper, the 3 axes that we had, and as I said, the earth and the cube, we're gonna also comment it out. And let's see, the next thing I want to do is to move the camera a little bit forward, and so it was 002, now I have 004. And if I save this, let's see now how our our website looks like. Yes, so this is what we have. We can't like zoom in or out because we got rid of orbit control, and also the axes are gone, and we have only this page. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna detect mouse click on this object here. It's a little bit different from how you would detect mouse movement or click on like HTML components. We need to basically use Raycaster from Threejs. If you go to their website and search for Raycaster, it will bring you here. As you can see here, is used for mouse picking. working out what objects in the 3D space the mouse is over or clicked or things like that. So before we get there, I wanna actually show you how we can kind of add some animation to this for like entrance. As you can see, for example, for the text up there, we have like that kind of animation. It comes from the top. I'm gonna do a similar thing for this basically scene for my container of Threejs here. And to do that, we can go to the index.js under the pages folder. This is where we did the animation for the text coming from up top. What we're gonna do, we're gonna add another animation for the canvas container for that Threejs, and to do that, I use again GSAP a from animation here, and I'm just like changing the opacity of this basically. So if we save that right here and go back, we'll see that once we animate the page, we will have this. You saw that it had like the all alpha of it just like appeared. We can do like a little bit different animation here. We can play with the x-axis value, and we're gonna do the same for animate out. So that's what we have here. When we are moving away from this page, we'll just like animate that out as well. So that's just one thing I wanted to show you, that you can do like all these cool things with also your canvas container. Just what happened, it came in. If we go to our views, pages, and then Threejs Pug, we have the Threejs stuff inside the canvas, inside this canvas container. We can see that also here. We have this Threejs canvas container and this one here, so we can do things on that container, basically some animations, and that will affect our scene and our objects in there in its entirety. So that's first thing. The next thing, now we're gonna go and do the raycasting and basically add some event listeners to our page. To do that, we have this webpack folder and file organization here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do our index.js, which is our entry point for all the front-end JavaScript. It's right all the way basically under the app folder, the index.js there, and we're gonna add event listeners for like mouse down, mouse up, and then that's how we will incorporate the raycasting in our Threejs page. So since we are already have some event listeners here, and again, if you don't know what these are, go back, check the other videos that I have, and you will find out what everything is. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna actually move everything to its own function. We call it add event listeners, and we're gonna define that right here, right above our puppet state. I moved the current event listeners there, and then the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add event listeners for mouse down or touch start. So those are basically the events for mouse click or like touch on a touch device. We want to make sure that we take care of both scenarios. And this on mouse down, we need to define that here, and that function is basically just going to direct the program to our canvas. So we're gonna see if we have a canvas in that page, and also there is an on mouse down in that canvas, then we want to do and check out that anything that's inside that on mouse down function in that canvas. And now you'll see how we will get to our Three.js web page using this method here. We also want to make sure we take care of mouse up. So mouse down is like when you click, and the mouse up is when you release. And for that, we are going to take care of mouse up, mouse leave, touch in, and touch cancel. All these events, you can find them on the MDN website, so go check that out. I'll put links in the description of this video as well. And then next, we're gonna define our mouse up, similar to mouse down. We'll direct it to our canvas, check if there is a mouse up function there, and go and look at anything that's in there. So in order to do that, we're gonna go to our canvas. That's where we have our canvases, and the index.js right under canvas folder. That's where we're gonna define our mouse down and mouse up events. Right here you can see we have these events, and then we're gonna direct it into this specific page now. So if some of our pages don't have like canvas, we obviously don't want to go there, or if they have canvas but they don't have a mouse down, we're just gonna make sure that we take care of all that here. So then next step, now we're gonna have to go to the Threejs index.js file here under our canvas folder, and add the mouse down and mouse up functions there, and that is here. Next thing we're gonna do is in here, and we're gonna define our mouse down and mouse up events here. So now this was the structure of our webpack, foldering and like file structure. That's why I wanted to make sure we do it this way. You could have like added the event listener right directly under the Threejs index.js file, but it is more organized this way, because if you have other mouse down or mouse up events in other folders or files, you can basically just only define that event listener here in your index.js file, and then direct everything to the specific files. So as I mentioned, we're gonna take care of raycasting. In their example here, they have a mouse move and event. We're gonna do the mouse click or mouse down event. So first thing, we're gonna like copy these two lines to define our raycaster and mouse vector. So for that, here just like add this key to the raycaster and mouse, so that we have access to them in our touch down and touch up event. And then we need to calculate the mouse position in normalized device coordinates. And then this is the function that we're gonna use. This is how you can basically find out where your mouse is on your scene. And that's what I'm gonna add inside my on mouse down. So when we click, we have our mouse X and Y coordinates, and keep in mind that we already have our width and height using the this query selector here. We have our canvas, and then we define our width and height. So instead of window inner width and window inner height, we want to make sure that we are using our width and height of our canvas. They might be the same in this situation, but you might have different height and width for your canvas compared to your window. So make sure to add the width and height here. And once you do that, next thing we need to do is to do the Raycaster set from camera. So that's basically update the pick and ray with the camera and mouse position. So as we move the mouse in our scene, it will update the raycasting for that. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna see if we have our mouse click intersects with our objects. The way they're doing it here, they're basically looking at all the children in the scene and then see if there is an intersect with an object there. We can do that, or the way I want to do it is I already have my plane there, so I'm gonna define an object with like my plane there as an element of my object array, and then use the same function raycaster.intersectobjects that they have here, and I have my array of objects here. If we had still like our cube and earth, we could also add them here. And this is good in case you want to only detect like mouse clicks on specific objects in your scene and not all of the children of your scene. So I prefer to do it this way. And then once we do that, the next thing we need to do is to like check this intersects length. If it's greater than 0, that means we have clicked on an object. I'm gonna save and go check the website. Just for you guys, I recommend for every step that we did here, just do some console.logs to get the event, and then check out the mouse X and Y coordinates as you move in the screen, so that you know what's happening. This is just a quick tutorial, so I don't want to spend time on that. You can like console.log this mouse X and Y, and as you move your mouse you can see if that changes or not. And then now I am clicking outside this object and nothing is happening. As I go inside and click, you can see I have clicked on object. Outside, nothing. Inside, I am clicking, and you see that we are seeing like this number increasing there. So we're detecting click. That's good. Next thing we're gonna do, obviously this is now the main thing that we wanted to do, like how to detect click on the object. From now on, it's just like whatever you wanna do. You can do like animations or things like that. Like in my website, if you remember, we had the when I did the click, like I hold it down for 3 seconds, and then like we have this animation and all that we can do. Like also we will later on work on all those details, but right now all I want to do is to add like a simple animation, and that will be using GSAP. Obviously I'll import GSAP here, and what I'm doing is just working on that container again, the container where our scene is, and just scale it down with a duration of 2 when I click on that. So let's see what happens there. Now if I go and click on my object here, so outside nothing happens. Obviously when I click, it's gonna go down, and in 2 seconds it's gone now. It's scaled down to 0. Now this might not be something you want to also make sure that when you release the click, something happens. To do that on mouse up event, we can also do the intersect length is more than 0, and just to see if that's working, I'm just console.login released there to make sure that's working. So again, I'm clicking outside, nothing is happening. If I click inside, if I hold it, and now I just released it, so you could see that I had that hold and release there. And then we probably want to scale it back up on release. I scale it back up to 2 times instead of 1. You can do that, just like something. Again, this is just your imagination now, whatever you want to do. I'm just doing simple stuff here just to show how this works. And then if I save the page again, that code, reload the page. What we see here is that now there you need to be careful. If you just click here and let go, that 2 second scaling down, you won't see that. So as you saw, I like clicked and let go. So click and release. If you want to see the whole thing 2 seconds, you have to click and hold. It's gonna go down and then release, and it's gonna come up. So that's again like you need to let your user know what exactly you want. As I have here, I'm saying like move cursor towards the middle, click and hold to unlock content. So some kind of like so the user knows what's gonna happen. So you might want to let them know like hold for a while and then release if you have something happening there. And we also can actually do more here. We can do some animation with our text above here also, as we do the click and then release. We're just gonna move it a little bit to right and then move it back to the 0 position. Again, this is just like an example, your imagination, whatever you want to do with that. This is how you do it, but what you do is totally depends on what your use case is. So I click and hold, you see the text also moves to right. As I let go here, the text moves back to the original position. Same thing, hold, release. Obviously if the hold is not that long, it's just gonna release back to this like on mouse up event. So yeah, that's all I had today. As I said, we're gonna have multiple videos to eventually get to this kind of effect here. There will be a lot of custom shaders and fragment and vertex shader coding that we will talk about. So this is a good start. Step by step we're gonna go there. And for now, this is it. Thanks a lot, guys. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on. Like I said, I will have more videos, and if you do that, you will be notified as soon as I publish new videos. And yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.